Welcome to the channel. Here, we provide clear, actionable insights into the complex world of tax and accounting to help your business thrive.
Hey, if you're in the military, did you happen to notice an extra $1,776 pop into your bank account back in December of 2025? It was a pretty nice holiday surprise for sure. But now that tax season is rolling around, the big question is, do you have to pay taxes on that? Well, let's get into it. Yeah, that payment, if you got it, you're in the right place. We are going to break down exactly what that warrior dividend was all about, and most importantly, what it means for your taxes. All right, let's just get right to the good stuff, shall we? You can relax. The IRS and the Treasury have officially confirmed it. That $1,776 payment is absolutely not taxable. So you can breathe a huge sigh of relief. You don't have to include it as part of your gross income. Okay, so now that we've gotten the big answer out of the way, let's rewind a bit. Where in the world did this money even come from? What exactly was this so-called warrior dividend? Well, the whole story starts with a really, really big number. Back in July of 2025, Congress set aside a massive $2.9 billion. And this wasn't just some spare change they found. It was a major fund specifically earmarked to give housing allowances a boost for service members. And this wasn't some exclusive club either. That money went out to a ton of people. We're talking 1.45 million service members. That just shows you how huge and widespread this thing really was. And then we get to the magic number, the one that really got everyone's attention, $1,776. The president announced it right before the holidays as a special one-time warrior dividend, and it came directly out of that giant $2.9 billion fund. So you might be asking, okay, but did I get it? Well, let's run through the checklist. The payment went out to active duty folks in pay grades 06 and below, along with eligible members of the reserve component. The key date was November 30th, 2025. If you were on the books then, you were set. And this covered everybody: Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, and the Space Force. Okay, so we know what it was and who got it, but the big mystery is, why is it tax-free? Now, this is where we get into the nitty-gritty, but it all comes down to a very specific legal term. Let's break it down. The magic words you need to know are qualified military benefit. Seriously, remember that phrase. You can think of it like a special VIP pass for your money that tells the IRS, nope, you can't touch this. If a payment gets this special label, it's legally shielded from taxes. It's a perk that's written right into the tax code, specifically for uniformed services members. And look, this isn't some clever trick or a loophole somebody found. It's written right there, plain as day, in the federal tax law. This one little sentence is the bedrock, the legal foundation that makes this whole thing possible. It draws a straight line from the government's budget to your bank account. And that line is completely tax-free. So let's connect all the dots here. It's actually really simple. First, the government officially called that $1,776 payment a Supplemental Basic Allowance for Housing, BAH. Second, BAH itself is already, by law, considered a qualified military benefit. So third, because the payment was just extra BAH, presto, the payment is automatically tax-free. It's as simple as that. All right, let's tie this all up with a bow. We've gone through the what, the who, and the why. Now let's really zero in on the final takeaway and what this all means for you when you're sitting down to do your taxes. So what's the bottom line? It's really, really simple. You don't have to do anything special. Just file your taxes like you always do and simply do not include that extra $1,776 as part of your income. It's legally non-taxable because it was a supplemental BAH payment, so it won't raise your tax bill 1 single cent. It's just extra money. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought, right? This whole thing was a special, one-time payment, but it shines a light on how military compensation is full of all these unique tax rules. It makes you wonder, what other tax benefits or special rules are out there? It's just a great reminder that it really, really pays to stay curious and informed about your own pay and benefits.